Thomas Matthews with Roots Construction.
My name is Aaron Ramsey with Ramsey Construction and Design, and this is our 4-unit apartment renovation in Trinidad, Washington, D.C.
So when did you enter this industry?
That's a tricky question. I've been in this industry for a while. My dad was a GC growing up. So I was, crawling into houses. I was putting in hardwood floors, hanging drywall since I was a youngin'. Officially, I got into business about 3 years ago when I started the company.
Okay. And so in between of that time gap, did you wander off to maybe want to do other things with your career or other things with your life, or?
Yeah, so I was coaching college basketball for a little while, and then I moved back into the area, and college basketball kind of put me on that project management track because, I was the director of operations, so I was just running a lot of different things. Moved back in the area, did some project management, and then I started doing like little renovation projects, which kind of led me, I think the one that said, let me go ahead and do this for other people was when I renovated my kitchen during the pandemic, and that just, made me want to start, making this a full-time thing.
So how did that go? How did that renovation in your kitchen go?
It was good.
Were you bored at home, COVID? You just wanted to do something?
Yeah, so it was COVID, and my wife really hated our kitchen. And, one day I was just like, let's redo it. And at that time, she didn't know that, she knew that, my dad was a GC and we did a little building together, but she didn't know, like, how good we were. And so, I renovated the kitchen. We renovated the kitchen, I let her help. And it was a good project. It turned out really well. A bunch of people, we posted it online, a bunch of people online said, can you come do mine next? And so that really kind of birthed that kind of fire for me to go and start my own thing.
So was it more of like a muscle memory? Like since you were born into it when you were little and just got back to the floor of things?
It was one of them things where I always, like, when I have questions, I'll call my pops and then we'll kind of work through it together. But then once I got started, it was just a wrap. My father was a CB, so he was a Navy electrician. Okay. So, all the electrical stuff, we knew like the back of our hand. And then he really got good at carpentry. He's overkill. He's like a perfectionist. And so he made us do those things. And his dad was in carpentry as well. And so.
Oh, wow. So third generation, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay.
So that's how kind of, it just felt natural. It was easy to kind of fix things once I wrapped my head around it.
And how was that like? Just elaborate on that impact of, being a child, being around it, being in the midst of it. How was that impact on your life? Obviously, it's paying off, but if you could just elaborate on that impact.
Yeah, my dad, he made us do it, and so we didn't like to do it at first. And then I always had this like vision of owning houses, renting them out, and doing that stuff. Like I wanted to buy in like college towns, and so the construction or real estate, all of that kind of was innate. It was in me. But for the most part, I think once I realized, I can do this myself and, I can meet my deadlines and do all of those things, I was like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Just to bring it back, so what was the name of your company again?
Roots Construction.
So what do you guys focus on?
So we are a residential remodeling company. We love single-family homes. We love anything residential. I think residential, you get a lot of motion in it. And so when you're able to bring customers and clients, that kind of joy is life-changing. Like it's one thing people spend the most time, especially in this virtual environment where everybody's working from home. And so they really want to love the spaces that they're in. And it brings me joy to kind of make their vision and their dreams come to life.
Oh, definitely. So since you stepped into it full-time, how has your work-life balance been? Because I know basketball, I'm assuming, being a coach, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Practice, games, things like that.
Yeah.
So now, has it been easier, or has it been a little bit more structured?
Yeah. So I am dual trade, and so I do some government work. I was in consulting. I just switched over to a little program management. So it's dual trade, but it's honestly, basketball was bad. It was I was working about 80 hours a week. I was in school, so I was doing a lot of those things. And this, I'm able to be a little bit more flexible, but it's still a lot of work, and just trying to keep on top of everything. It's tough, but it's manageable, and it's rewarding. So it's worth it until I'm actually able to do it full time and make sure that I can feed my family solely on the business. So
Definitely. So really, where do you see Roots Construction in the next maybe like 5 years, 10 years?
The next 5 years, the goal would be to do custom homes. I think that's where I want to make my mark. Do custom homes for people, renovate older homes, and I would like to break into the commercial space. There's a lot of good work done in the city, and there's a lot of contracts out for minority business owners, and so really would love to make my mark on the new city that's being built.
Definitely. So I would I'm going to ask you this question. So 5 years now, 10 years from now, you'll look back, maybe you'll laugh. But really, if you have anything to tell yourself 10 years from now, what would you want to say? Business-wise.
Be consistent. Don't try to Lone Ranger it. As you meet people along the way, embrace them and go on the journey together.
Cool.
So before, like if this was all closed off, each unit was on both sides. So this side was a unit, and then that side was a unit.
Yeah, these are all, one bedroom?
One bedroom.
One bedroom. This was the original kitchen. This was the bath. This is probably the tub right here, over here. So yeah, we're about 4 weeks in. Demo pretty much complete. And yeah, we're just
now we just waiting on the city to send these permits back, and then we can get back to work.
I'm happy to hear I'm not the only one going through those kind of issues. It's a common thing, man.
For sure.
No, but this house definitely has some good bones to it.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely happy to see that.
Yeah.
All the woods definitely still looks good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So y'all said y'all gonna be doing how many bedrooms on each side?
So this is going to be 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. So once we dig down in the basement, we're actually going to knock this wall out. This will be primary, and you'll have a bathroom here and a walk-in here. Same on that side, and then
Upstairs.
we'll go down, and there'll be 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms in the basement with ensuite bathrooms for each other.
God, y'all got those basements up here.
Yeah.
Oh man. So with dealing with like basements and things like that, like are there any extra precautions you need to do or anything like to really, make it happen?
So definitely coming into this project, something that was new for me was dealing with underpinning. I had no real concept of, I understood what it was, but the cost associated with it totally blew me out of the water, this project. Also sort of the waterproofing, the associated costs that come along with underpinning. It completely opened my eyes in this project, so that's definitely something you have to deal with basements, especially if you're trying to get at 8 feet. Because what do we have down there right now? Like 7.
We have 7.2, 7.3, and then the client, he wants to go 9 feet. We convinced him to do 8, but
what would make him want to go 9?
he's a guy that likes to go big.
Yeah,
I got you.
So like the upper levels, there'll be 9. The ceiling, the roof will be 9.
Okay.
But that to give those apartments a little bit more value.
Gotcha. Okay.
This stairwell will be the same. We're gonna keep this the same. And then in that apartment, you'll see the stairwells will be in the living room down low. In this apartment, we'll have the upper runs going this way over this current stairwell. And so these units will be bigger naturally, just because you're not eating into the living space. You have this landing here, if you will, to make a natural transition to the upper unit. So, yeah, and then we have some backyard space where we putting some decks out on the back.
Yeah. You want to give the tenants some outdoor space.
Are you gonna leave it open, or are you gonna have it separated?
Oh, so yeah, each unit will have their
Its
own
own
deck
deck.
space.
Okay, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
so we'll have a privacy wall down the middle of each of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, is this the biggest project you guys done together so far?
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew for a fact that I wasn't gonna be able to knock this out without some help, and Aaron was the right guy to call. We got history. I trust him, and so it was like, this would be a good partnership to work on. Sure.
Definitely. This is the first one.
It is.
Yeah.
First of many, right?
For sure.
No, gotcha. Okay. Man. Well, do you guys have like a favorite room or favorite aspect of the house that it's going to be? What is completed or what?
I definitely think that the pop up for me would be I've never ripped the roof off of anything and built a new floor, so I think that'll definitely be a new challenge for me. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
No, definitely.
And as you can see, we will be the first on the block. So
Yeah. I think for me, I just love transformations, and so to see the old and then the new, it's going to be a really good experience.
Gotcha.
I guess if I had a particular place where I would be excited about kitchens, I love kitchens.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I'm excited to see it kind of come to life.
And do you have a favorite phase of construction? Like I know mine is like after the drywall because you kind of can see it,
I love finish work. Yeah,
So
finish is definitely my favorite part. I love demo too.
Okay.
When you get to see everything down to the studs, it's a really good feeling.
My favorite phase is actually design. I come from an architecture background, so I'm sort of a nerd when it comes out to space planning and design. So I've definitely say design.
So when you say that, is it hard for you to, I wouldn't say settle for plans or for plans, but do you overthink?
I wouldn't say overthink, but I definitely I have a standard, and I stick. Yeah, so if, I stick to that.
Gotcha.
So I can't be a stickler for small details when it comes to architectural plans, for sure.
Gotcha. How long have you been in business?
So officially, we've been incorporated for just over a year, but I've been providing construction architectural services for almost 6 now.
Okay. So let's get into it. What made you want to get on this path?
Wow. So honestly, when I first started, I didn't see myself in this path at all. At heart, I'm really an artist. So in high school, I was real heavy into computer graphics and drawing. And 12th grade it came around, and but this was before YouTube, so I didn't really see a career in art. There wasn't really a clear path. So I tried to take my passion in art and do something useful with it. So I went to architecture. Actually, I went to Howard, not too far from here, and got into architecture. After college, I went into affordable multifamily and senior housing for a small firm, Raymond Parker. And after that, I think I feel like I learned all I could. I started doing renderings for people, and I wasn't really happy, just sitting behind a computer for 8 hours. It wasn't my thing, so I jumped into construction.
Okay, so you being a creative person, could you just talk about you? I'm guessing you were like kind of like hubbing a cubicle or just not loving the office life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was coming in as a junior architect. Most of your work is you're drawing lines. You're doing the grunt work. You're printing. You're putting sets together. It's not fun. So, in some of the projects they were a little further down the line. So they gave the younger staff opportunity to do like punch walks. So anytime I got to leave my desk, I jumped at it. I was the punch walk guy. So I think I built my love for construction doing those punch walks. I really learned. Not from seeing the lines on the screen, but seeing them, seeing the 2x4s, how they get put together, not necessarily in a detail, but what that looks like with the nail and hammer.
So really for you, where would you say you got that creativity from? Why that creative bug?
Oh man, my mom's an artist. My brother's an artist. My brother actually grew up. I grew up hearing him. He was in a marching band. He played the alto saxophone. He also paints and draws. Also, my mom, she was a seamstress and she also draws. So, I was born into a creative family. I didn't really have a choice.
I gotcha. So now, just because you talk about, how do you use your creativity in the construction field?
Well, I will say definitely for this project, I'm definitely design first. It's the way I put together, think about space planning and just everything. It sort of has to make sense. It has to flow. Yeah.
I gotcha. Because I see your stuff online. That's how we met. Your stuff looks really good. Do you have like a favorite project thus far? Or?
I definitely would say my favorite project. So I have this project with Charles County Public Schools. We're converting a school bus into a food truck. That's been really fun. It's been something very different. I've never done anything like that before. So that's been very fun.
Okay. So could we just talk about your work, your career prior to starting your own business? Just talk about your experience, the highs, the lows, and what you learned from there.
Sure. Okay, so I started out in architecture, doing multifamily, affordable multifamily and senior housing, and yeah, like I said, first year architect, so doing a lot of grunt work, a lot of drafting. Got tired of that. Then I found an opportunity to work in construction with the Smithsonian.
So not to cut you off.
Yep.
How long did it take you to get tired of it?
It actually took me maybe 2 years before I got tired of it.
Okay.
And then it took me another year and a half before I actually decided to do something about it.
Okay. And you were talking about your work with the Smithsonian? Yeah.
So after I left architecture, I went into construction, working as a construction project manager at Smithsonian. At first, I landed at the Air and Space Museum. They're doing a huge renovation. I think it's like a 6-year project. It's near like $800 million. Jeff Bezos gave a huge donation to do an addition to that too. So I ended up there. Then got moved out to the Herschel Museum, which is like the DC's National Contemporary Museum. Really laid some roots there. Learned the construction business, project management, how to run a project, how to run a construction project.
So, for Ramsey Construction and Design, where do you really see it going in the next maybe 5 to 10 years?
So actually when I first started, I dived straight into government contracts. So I'm really trying to find some consistent work. I'm trying to get on a government schedule, find some consistent work, and just grow from there. I want to build a steady pipeline. That's really what I'm trying to.
I got you. That was a very humble and respectable answer. Now, if you could just say, like, one, like, maybe crazy or ambitious goal that you want to just throw out there, shoot. So you want to just throw it out there, you know?
Yeah, that's easy. So one of my taglines for Ramsey Construction and Design is that we're community builders. We like doing projects like this where we're, renovating something for the community to use, but also, in the future, I want to do just that, build communities. I want to build cities, renovate entire blocks, build blocks. So I want to be, the America's biggest developer.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so in 5 to 10 years, look back at this video, what would you tell yourself in the future? What words of encouragement or what would you, advice you would give yourself?
I'd say you knew it, you did it, just keep at it, just keep consistent. I know you're sleepy, but it's gonna pay off. You're gonna earn your leisure.
Hey. So in the South we don't really have this. So
Basement?
Yeah, man. I used to see him on TV, man. I used to be like, man, that's the life.
That's the life.
Live in the basement. What?
Yeah. So you want to do this one?
No, you got it. I'll tag on.
Yeah. So right here we're gonna be tearing this down. This
garage
down. Potentially might be building a new garage with the ADU over here. Changing the fence work out, doing some landscaping, but really making this area look nice.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So with an ADU, do you guys have any requirements out here for that or anything, or is it?
Oh yeah.
So ADUs have to be.
We have to subdivide it. What we about to say? Yeah, we have to subdivide the lot, and yeah.
So So yeah, you could either do it two ways. Either subdivide it, or you have to have a square footage limit. So for 456, you don't have to subdivide it. Anything over that has to be a completely separate unit.
Gotcha. So are you strategic about having it below that number, or what?
Yeah, it's tough, but you know, DC, their inspectors, they're sticklers about code and all that other stuff and requirements and regulations.
So how is it for you guys, like inspection periods? Like, are they like really hard, or how is it? How is it the process out here?
It's not typically hard.
I'm gonna say it's too difficult.
You just gotta be. I think when it's hard is when you got an inspector that you kind of treated harshly or said the wrong thing to.
Yeah,
and that's when
sure.
they make it painful.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
relationships are definitely important to maintain. Absolutely.
No, definitely. I know for like for us in Louisiana, it's more of like good cop, bad cop, letting them do their thing, and we just okay.
Yeah.
Don't take anything personal, just listen.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you go through it, and at the end, they're like, "Hey, nothing personal, man. This is it." I feel like definitely keeping that good relationship.
For sure.
Yeah,
And
man.
then DC also has a program for third-party inspectors, and so you kind of expedite the process with third-party. I mean, of course, it costs, but
Yeah.
you're able to kind of get the inspector in and out.
No, definitely. So how you guys gonna do the deck?
So we originally wanted to do decks, and then we switched to rooftop, and now we're back to decks.
Yeah,
Okay.
back to back.
What made you cancel the rooftop?
I think we don't meet height requirements.
Yeah,
I
it's a height
think with that
requirements.
new floor at 9 feet.
And then going another. Yeah, then essentially adding another level. We just
I think
that wouldn't fly.
yeah. And
I
so
gotcha.
the decks, we're gonna dig this out down here. We got to put a window well over here, but we're gonna have it coming out here and across, and then it'll have on each level private decks. On the top level, it will be on top of this. The top levels don't go all the way back past this bump out.
Okay.
The deck will be on top of these bump outs over there.
Just gonna ask y'all some collective questions, things like that. Man, I tell you honestly, me coming from Louisiana and coming up here to DC, and just seeing you guys working together, I love to see it. It motivates me. They say we can't work together. You guys are beating the odds. So really, if you could just tell me, what you admire about the other person that made you really want to come together and work. So,
I'll say me and Thomas definitely. One thing I've known, we definitely have complementary skill sets. I feel like I'm definitely more. I'm happy to be in the dirt, in the streets. I'm not in the streets, sorry. And in the field. Not saying that he doesn't. He told you, his background. But I'm definitely I definitely like to be more hands-on. But what I admire about him is his business acumen. He definitely has more, more poise. He's definitely can communicate to the client more professionally.
Gotcha.
I think the thing I admire about Aaron, one, I remember on our early conversations, we were actually talking about another project, is that I said, yo, I ain't never did that before. And he was like, oh, don't start talking like that now. And so I think his fearless attitude and his willingness to figure stuff out has been the most admirable trait for me in our working together.
Oh, definitely. And this is you guys' first project. You've known each other since second grade?
A long time.
Second grade, man. And definitely just being able to, come together. I know since I've started this and I've been interviewing people who have like companies and partnerships, it's yin and yang, and you focus on each other's strengths, but you also acknowledge, the weaknesses. Hey, this is where you're strong. This is where I'm not, and not being afraid to admit it. I know, like in our community, it's be strong all the time. Don't admit, hey, I don't have this. But just being able to see you gentlemen, honestly, man, I'm looking at y'all right now. I see more projects. I see, bigger stuff. So I'm definitely gonna want to stay tapped in with this one. Definitely, man. Next question. Well, almost last question. Really, man. If you could pick one type of project to compete against each other, what would it be?
I think since he's a design guy, I would love to go toe to toe on like a custom build.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Definitely some sort of custom home build. Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And for you, do you guys want to focus more on, the residential? Do you want to do the commercial? Do you want to do bigger developments? What do you really see this going forward?
For me, this is just the first one. Yeah, so I think start off with a house, get 2 houses, do a block, do a neighborhood. I think this is just the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
So, markets, are you guys staying up here? Coming down Louisiana? What's y'all move? What's next for y'all, man? What do y'all see it growing and going?
You sound like you got some work for us.
Hey, man, definitely, man. That's what it's all about, man. Yeah. But really, man, I know, certain markets have different numbers, different things. I know when I was Googling the address for this property, it had a high price point. Mm-hmm. So for this market, with the price points that they are, how does it really reflect you guys' bidding and profit, and how do you guys, really maneuver in a market like this at this time?
Yeah, and so being brothers, we have to come in at a competitive rate, and so we like to be competitive. We don't want to sell ourselves short, but we are definitely more lenient to the client. And that's how we're able to kind of win jobs in this area, because, a project like this could, cost upwards of 1.5 if, if the top developers are doing it, or the developers that have more name recognition than us. And so we like to come in and get the same quality of work at a lower price point where both our families can still eat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just the level of customer service we offer, I can't tell you how many meetings we've had at 6 or 7, how much communication we have at 10 o'clock at night. So, just sort of making sure the client feels like they're heard. So, we're a small operation, but we're able to give that, extra level of love and care to the customer.
Gotcha. So what about individual goals? Do you guys have any individual aspirations for rental properties, things like that?
For me, the aspiration is to kind of residual income, and so whether that's flipping a house or 2 while I'm working on a big project, that would be good. I think my wife likes those kind of things to kind of tap in on, and so definitely wanting to have some kind of shared interest with my wife is a special goal for me. So that would be something that I'm looking forward to.
Gotcha.
I think definitely for me is getting my first rental property to, my first fixer-upper to build some residual income. Looking after this project, I'm definitely looking for another property to roll right into.
No, definitely. All right, fellas, I definitely thank you for your time today. As I mentioned, you guys are really the reason why I came up here. I reached out to my guy with Ramsey Construction, and definitely, man, just connecting with you. Really, man, I think when you reached out to me, I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm doing this channel. I just have to worry about. But, you really gave me that kick. And, man, really, ever since then, I just been staying with it, staying in motion, you know what I mean? So I definitely want to just on camera say thank you for your positive energy, man. And it was just great meeting both of you brothers today. And, man, that's the first of many, man. I'll be back up here. Y'all be back in Louisiana. So,
come see when it's finished.
Nah, definitely, man. So, any last words from you guys?
Thank you for
for sure, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
And definitely check us out on our social media. You can get me on Instagram at ramsey.cd
and roots.construction, and website is roots.construction, no.com, just .construction.
Gotcha, and I'll put all that in the description. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
All right.
goal is to kind of keep our people in the city.
Gotcha.
And so
Gotcha.
we want to make sure we can do renovations at an affordable rate, and help people keep their property and build